What's up everyone, it's United Weather here with another weather forecast video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at an upcoming severe weather event that is going to bring multiple days of damaging winds, large hail, and maybe even a few tornadoes to part of the country. Now, as always, before we do get started, if you guys do enjoy these weather forecast videos and find them helpful, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It does help get these videos out to more people, and it helps motivate me to make more content for you guys. So going ahead now and taking a look at the latest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. This is the day one outlook for today, which is Saturday. As I'm recording this video, you can see we do have three marginal risks here. However, the one we're going to want to keep an eye on is the one all the way to the north in northern Montana and northern North Dakota. That is caused by the storm, which is eventually going to move to the southeast over the next few days and eventually bring that severe weather to portions of the northern plains. But today, generally tame, nothing too bad to worry about, just classic thunderstorms in some areas, but nothing too severe. Now, if we go ahead and skip forward to the day two outlook, this is for Sunday, you can see we do have a slight risk now for eastern portions of northern and South Dakota, as well as for the northwest portion of Minnesota. Now, the main threat with this, according to the Storm Prediction Center, is going to be your 15% chance for damaging winds, along with your 15% chance for damaging hail. We also do have a 2% chance of a tornado, so that is definitely something we have to watch out for. We cannot rule out a tornado or two as the system moves to the area tomorrow. Now, taking a look at the latest NAM model here, this is 4 p.m. on Sunday. You can see we don't have much to speak of. Some storms all the way up here in the north in Canada that are going to continue to develop through the evening and into the overnight hours. And if we skip ahead here to about 9 p.m., you can see this little tiny line developing here in southern Canada, northern Minnesota. This is going to continue to push to the southeast throughout the night. So 9 p.m., 10 p.m., you can see it start to really ramp up here. And now this is going to be mainly damaging winds with this line. Again, we can see a tornado or two embedded in this line, which would not be a good thing because this is 10 p.m. So this would be an overnight tornadic threat that we are talking about in this line here. But again, the main threat is going to be damaging winds as well as some large hail. So 10 p.m. the line starts to kick up here in northern Minnesota. As you move through the night, 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., still going strong, moving to the southeast. Eventually, by 8 a.m. in the morning on Monday, the line will eventually dissipate, but definitely looks like it's going to be moving through at least the northern half of Minnesota through Sunday night into Monday morning. Now, taking a look at the convective energy here on the NAM model, you can see this huge area here of these light yellowish colors. That is 4,000, 5,000 Cape, and that is a lot of energy for these storms to work with. Again, this is 10 p.m. Sunday night, so these storms are definitely going to have a very juiced up atmosphere as they move through northern Minnesota into the overnight hours. So definitely don't be surprised to see some really strong wind gusts with these storms. Now, in terms of Monday's severe weather threat, unfortunately, the NAM model does not go out that far. So we are switching over to the GFS model here. And this is 1 p.m. Monday afternoon. You can see, again, we do have a very large area of convective energy here that is in the atmosphere to fuel these storms. And if we continue to move ahead here, this is 7 p.m. Monday night. You can see, again, you get that area of yellow there. And that's really going to start juicing up these storms Monday night. And it continues to eventually diminish by about 1 a.m. Monday night. Do keep in mind the GFS model is not a severe weather model, or not a shorthand model rather. So the precipitation on here is not going to be very accurate. But if we look at Monday 1 p.m. here, you can see a little hint of some precipitation down here in your high convective energy fueled areas. But again, the GFS is not very good this far out in terms of precipitation, so it's not really going to show much. But I think the Cape and the convective energy rather should give you guys a pretty good idea of where the best severe weather threat is going to set up. Now, zooming out here to take a look at the overall pattern, you can see we do have your low pressure system out here in the west. That is what's going to be causing your severe weather. We also have a high pressure system sitting over the central part of the country. And if we skip ahead here, let's go 2 days forward here, you can see the high pressure kind of just sits there over the country, dominating the overall weather pattern. Your trough is still up here in North Dakota and northern Minnesota and continuing to cause severe weather. That is eventually going to kind of weaken as it gets kind of absorbed by this high pressure system. And you see here in the western half of the country, we have another trough that's going to be swinging to the east over this week, and that is going to cause another round of severe weather for pretty much the same areas that were just impacted by Sunday and Monday's threat. So if we continue to skip forward here, you can see the trough swing to the east over North Dakota, Montana, South Dakota, even places like Minnesota. You can also see that your high pressure system that was dominating the weather pattern is pretty much really weak now. You can see maybe a little hint of it here in the northeast. You guys are definitely going to be getting some above average temperatures, especially towards the end of the week. I know you guys have been below average, pretty much the entire past week. So definitely expect more seasonable temperatures as we approach the end of next week. But the high pressure system that has been dominating basically the entire country, keeping the weather quiet over the past 2 weeks at least, is going to pretty much diminish towards the end of next week. Now, in terms of the tropics, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are interested in, we are still relatively quiet. However, we have been seeing some signs of life lately on the ensembles. This is hour 120, so this is about 5 days out, and we can see pretty much quiet. What you want to keep an eye on is down here in the bottom half of your screen. These numbers down here are basically storms that every ensemble member is forming and showing develop. And if we move ahead here, you can see how they start to get this little, I want to say orangish color. They start to turn into these little blobs, and that is tropical storms developing, which has been pretty rare this season in the Atlantic Ocean. And if we move ahead a little bit forward here, you can see it approaches the Leeward Islands and continues to move to the west, eventually coming pretty close to the United States. You can see all these blobs here in the ocean, some even in the Gulf of Mexico here. So again, hurricane season is not done. It is not going to be below average. It's probably going to be above average with the ace energy we have already accumulated thanks to storms like Hurricane Debbie, Ernesto, as well as Hurricane Beryl earlier in the season. So hurricane season is probably not even close to halfway done. We're definitely going to be ramping up towards the very end of August and beginning of September. So definitely want to stay weather aware as we move into that time period. I will be trying to post a lot of tropics updates for you guys so you stay updated on the latest threats. Now, with that being said, that is pretty much going to do it for today's video. A little bit of a short one. Again, not much to talk about other than the severe weather threat. However, we should have lots to talk about in the upcoming weeks as the tropics start to heat up again. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and peace out.